going on? Luke here, and we are back to do my tips and predictions for round 7 of the 2022 NRL season. Now for round 6, we saw one of the biggest upsets, I'm not going to say of all time, but at least of this year. We saw the Tigers beat the Eels, so it shows you how unpredictable the NRL can be at times. So I'm going to try our best to do the tips and predictions and try our best to get the whole round. Now we're just about to go over all the games, but I do need to mention that there is a sponsor of this video.
The sponsor for this video is BetU, and more specifically, EarnU. EarnU is a part of BetU, and it allows you to place bets on NRL, AFL, cricket, and all major sports risk-free. You can even place bets on esports such as FIFA and League of Legends. You can even watch the esports events, so it makes it a little bit easier to make those bets. This is all done through BetU tokens, and you can win money through the tokens, as all profits and bets are done through the tokens. Yes, I just said tokens a lot. To get the tokens, you need to deposit into your account, and that will give you points to play with, and then you can use those points to make the bets. 1,000 BetU tokens equals 10 points to make bets with, so you kind of get the gist there. You can make bets individually, or you can join in on the rounds that they do. They do rounds each week, and within those rounds, they also have leaderboards, so you can make money a fair few ways on this platform. Now, I have a referral code in the description below. You can go ahead and click on that, or you can just go ahead and chuck in Mr. Luke where it allows you. Basically, this just shows that you saw my video and you've come across my video, so it really does help me if you do use my referral code. Once again, thank you to BetU, and more importantly, EarnU, for coming on board the channel. Guys, please gamble responsibly. You also have to be 18 plus as well. I mean, it is gambling after all, so you have to be 18 plus. But Australians, we love a little bit of a gamble, especially NRL fans. We love to have a little bit of a punt, especially me. So go ahead, use this platform, use BetU, use EarnU, and help support the people that support me.
Alrighty, on to the first game of the round. It is the Cronulla Southland Sharks taking on the Manly Warringah Seagulls. Now, for this one, both of these teams have been absolutely flying. They've been in pretty good form. The Sharks have been looking very, very good. Manly have been looking very, very good, albeit they're both not going to be playing at full strength this week. Sharks are missing a lot of forwards, I believe, whereas Manly are missing Tom Trbojevic, a huge loss for them. Although Cherry Evans and Foran have really, really stepped up. Cherry Evans in particular. Ruben Garrick doing a fantastic job at fullback. The Sharks, they still got Nico Hines, they still got Matty Moylan. Will Kennedy's still there. You also have Brayley there as well. So their spine is unchanged. And for that, I think the Sharks are going to win this one. I think being a home game is going to help them big time. But I think the Sharks are just a little bit classier than the Manly side. And no Tom Trbojevic for Manly. I think it is still a huge loss. And when they're going to come up against these good sides like the Sharks, I think they're going to struggle without him. I think if Tommy's there, I'm probably tempted to take Manly, but he's not. And the Sharks, they looked fairly decent last week despite losing. So I'm still going to take the Sharks. I'm going to go 1-12. I think it'll be a tight one. But yeah, Sharks to win. Next up sees the Brisbane Broncos take on my mighty, well, I don't know if it's mighty, but my Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. I'm actually going to this game. So I'm hoping the Bulldogs win, but I need to give a fair assessment of this game. So both sides have been quite poor. I feel like the Bulldogs are showing glimpses. We've sort of been very unlucky last week with the sin binning, and even previous weeks we've shown times throughout the game where we're on top. Should have done a lot more with it, but we do look a lot better with Kyle Flanagan in the side. So I'm expecting big things from the Bulldogs this week. Does that mean I think they're going to beat the Broncos side? Not necessarily, but we do see a great story in Tamari Martin making his return after, I don't know, when he retired, 2018, something along the lines of that. Played in the grand final for the Cowboys. I think next year he was retired due to a brain bleed. So look, I'm glad to see him back in the NRL, but the fact that he's actually playing fullback, which he barely played when he was actually playing as like an active NRL player week in, week out, he barely played fullback as far as I can remember. I know he did slot in there every now and again, so it's not like he's never played it, but the fact that he's slotting in there now that Tessie News out, they let Asako go. You've got Selwyn Cobbo on the wing. They've got Tyson Gamble coming into the side. They've also got that Corey Pakes or Pay, or I don't know exactly how to say it, but he's in at hooker. You've also got Billy Walters on the bench. There's a lot of change to this Broncos side, and I think it's much needed for them, but Bulldogs have at least got that little bit of cohesion. Brayden Burns is the only one missing for them. So I'm actually going to tip, I don't know if you deem it an upset, but I'm actually going to tip the Bulldogs to win this one. I think it will be a tight one in the end, but I'm tipping the Bulldogs 1-12. Now moving on to Super Saturday. It's an all-Queensland affair. Sees the North Queensland Cowboys taking on the Gold Coast Titans. Now at the start of the season, I would have easily said the Titans. I would have said Titans will smash them. Done deal. That's the end of the story. That's all I need to say. But that's not been the case this year. Titans have been very, very lackluster. I don't know what they're going to do with their halves going forward. It's not working. Brimson's alright, but just them as a combo, him and Sexton, they're just not getting enough out of them. They're not getting the ball to Fafita enough. I know a lot of the talk's been around Fafita and he's not doing enough, but I feel like it's more the service he's getting just isn't that great. They're not getting him involved enough. He's a forward. He can only get the ball when they pass it to him. He can't go in there and just grab it from dummy half every time. When he gets the ball, he's super damaging. I feel bad for Fafita. But the Cowboys, they've been very, very solid. I'm absolutely loving Valentine Holmes this year. He has been killing it. I don't know if it's him going to the centers that's doing it, but just him in general. He's been scoring basically every week. He seems to be back to his best. He's been a couple of years since we've really seen Valentine Holmes at his best, so I'm glad to see that happening. Townsend and Dearden in the halves been fairly solid. Drinkwater is still at the back at fullback, although the Hammer is actually on the extended bench, so maybe we're going to see him. But look, I think the Cowboys should be able to win this one, especially at home. I think they'll have enough to get it done. I think it'll be a scrappy win. I think the Titans, if they get going, they can score a lot of points real quick. We've seen that the last couple of weeks. Despite them losing, been scoring a lot of points in that second half. So if they're in the mix in the second half, I think they can run away with it. But the Cowboys, they've been very, very consistent this year. Apart from round one, they haven't really put out really a terrible performance. So I'm expecting the Titans to really beat themselves, but the Cowboys, for me, they're going to win this one. Once again, I think it's going to end up close. I think the Titans can rally late, but I think the Cowboys might get a lead early on. 1-12 victory for the Cowboys. Next up sees the team that got the upset of the year, probably. The West Tigers taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Another team that got a huge upset. Okay, I'm just joking there. But both teams won last week, which is not something I thought I was going to say. I thought Rabbitohs would probably win, but Tigers, I thought they were going to get absolutely smashed. Come into this game under more pressure. Michael Maguire might get sacked, something along the lines of that. But instead, they come up against Michael Maguire's old side, the Rabbitohs, and they actually played pretty well last week. Jackson Hastings, absolutely huge for them. He's a huge inclusion. I think we all knew that they were going to be better with Jackson Hastings in the side. We just didn't know how much better they were going to be. He kicked the field goal. He set up a couple of tries. Kicking game outstanding. So even when he was at the Roosters, his kicking game was always a strength. It was almost like he relied on it too much. But this time, it was perfect. He's been over at Super League, been honing his craft. Looks to be a gun player this year. And Luke Brooks can just sit back and just play second fiddle. And maybe that's more Luke Brooks' style. I know they're paying a lot of money for him, but if he can just play second fiddle to Jackson Hastings for now, at least until Dewey's back, then I think that's a good move. So, look, the Tigers, they did get the job done. I think the Eels were very, very under strength last week. I didn't realise how under strength they were until I actually won this Rugby League Live 4 and I was doing a video and I was like, definitely not the side that I've been seeing the last couple of weeks. So, look, I'm not surprised. Well, I am surprised that the Tigers won, but I thought that they could have troubled the Eels. I didn't expect them to win, though, but look, in terms of up against the Rabbitohs, I'm expecting the Rabbitohs to win this one. They were pretty decent last week. A few calls went their way. Okay, a lot of calls went their way, but I think the Rabbitohs are going to get the job done. I'm going to go 13+. I know the Tigers are going to be super confident after last week. All the fans are just going crazy. But to be honest, I think it was a one-off. I think they're going to be brought down to reality this week. But hey, you never know. Tigers could win this one. But yeah, look, I'm going Rabbitohs 13+. Then moving on to Sunday, the next game sees the Newcastle Knights taking on the Parramatta Eels. Now, I just talked briefly about the Parramatta Eels. Haven't talked about the Knights. Now, the Knights have been a hot topic. I did a video yesterday talking about Kalen Ponga and whether they should let him go or not, and that his offer had been pulled, but it's now coming out that his offer is still there, or something along the lines of that. I can't keep up with this whole Kalen Ponga circus, but in terms of him on the field, hasn't really been too effective, although last week he was a lot better than he's been this whole season. But the Knights in general haven't been playing well. Apart from the first couple of weeks, they've been absolutely terrible going forward. So I really can't get a read on the Knights. It feels like they've added Ponga into the side, and you'd think they would get better, but instead, I feel like they've gotten worse. It doesn't make sense. Parramatta are going to be absolutely fuming after losing last week. So I can see them coming out and putting a huge score on the Knights. I can see the Eels winning this 13+. I don't really need to talk about this game too much. The Knights, they've been sort of underwhelming this year. They're kind of where I thought they would be before the season started, but after the first couple of rounds, I was like, the Knights are actually the real deal, but definitely not the case. Knights not looking good. Parramatta didn't look good last week, but I think they're going to bounce back. 13+ Eels. Next game for Sunday sees the reigning premiers, the Penrith Panthers, taking on the Canberra Raiders. For me, this one is a pretty easy one to pick. Penrith have been absolutely killing it. They're absolutely flying it. The form team of the comp by far. It's so easy. The Raiders have been very hit or miss. They haven't really looked good at all. I thought they'd be a lot better this year, but then all the injuries happened. I feel like I say that every week, but they did have a pretty good roster going into the season. Fell apart quite quickly. You've got Ricky Stewart coming out and blasting Xavier Savage in press conferences and stuff, and I don't know. I don't like what I'm seeing from the Raiders, whereas Penrith have been absolutely outstanding. I don't really want to talk about this one too much. I'm going to give Penrith 13+, 20+, 30+. Penrith going to absolutely smash them. Now moving on to Monday, which is Anzac Day. We get the traditional Anzac games. Well, I feel like they're tradition now. But you got the Roosters taking on the Dragons. You also have Melbourne taking on the Warriors. We're going to talk about the first game, which is the Dragons and the Roosters. For me, the Roosters are absolutely going to smoke the Dragons. Although, this game is usually relatively close from memory. It seems like even if the Dragons aren't playing that well, they always step up against a side like the Roosters, or at least for the occasion of Anzac Day. So, I'd see this being close at times. However, I feel at some point the Roosters are definitely going to run away with this one. I don't think this is going to be a close one like it was against the Warriors. I think the Roosters are absolutely going to smash the Dragons. Dragons, like they got the win last week, I'll give them credit, but they were only playing the Knights. So Look, the Dragons a little bit more confidence, probably kind of similar to the Tigers, a little bit more confidence going into this week. The fans are a little bit happy for the week, and they can sort of relax a little bit, less pressure, but they're coming up against the Roosters this week, so I think it's going to be a tough day in the office for the Dragons, and I think the Roosters are going to win this one well. 13+ to the Roosters. Now moving on to the next game, Melbourne and the Warriors. I think once again, Melbourne have been absolutely killing it this year. Warriors have looked very, very good as well at times, but Melbourne are just so consistent. Papenhuyzen are killing it, Munster killing it. You got Harry Grant killing it, Brandon Smith's there. You got all the usual suspects absolutely killing it for them. Melbourne, I don't really need to talk about this one too much either. I just think Melbourne, they can play most sides, and I'd probably say the same thing, that they're going to absolutely annihilate this team. I don't know if they're going to annihilate the Warriors. Like I said, the occasion is there. Warriors can trouble the Storm because of how unpredictable they are, and I think it does hurt teams like the Storm where they can't control what the Warriors are going to do. But that only works if the Warriors actually play like the Warriors, so we'll see how that goes. But for me, I'm going to be tipping Melbourne. I'm going to go 13+ for that one. Anyways, those are my tips for round 7. Let me know in the comment section below. Are they good tips? Are they bad tips? Are they better than yours? Let me know yours. Let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, if you happen to enjoy this video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also, make sure to use the notification bell. Don't lie on the sub boxes. Use the notification bell to never miss any of my videos. Also, while you're at it, go ahead and chuck me a follow on social media. It's on the screen right now. It's Mr. Luke and YT for the most part. My Facebook is Mr. Luke, but everything else, including Snapchat, including TikTok, is Mr. Luke and YT. Give me a follow, give me an ad. Also, become a member of the channel. It helps the channel out massively. It's a program that I think is really good. You got 2 levels. You get exclusive things, like you got little emojis that only you can use. You have a private chat you can join. And depending on the level, you can also watch exclusive live streams and such. So go ahead and join up. So a big thank you to the people who have already joined. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me that you've actually done that. So once again, thank you very much. Also, once again, I do need to mention the sponsor of the video, Earn You. Thank you for coming on board the channel. I do have a referral code. It is Mr. Luke. Or you can just click on the link in the description below. Same goes to the member as well. There's a link for that too. But just click on the little links. Go and join up. Join Earn You. Join my members program. And look, that's where I'm going to end this one. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting the video. I hopefully did enjoy it. Stay tuned for more content on the channel. And I'll see you next time. See yous.